but like I would never steal anybody's money. Like that's so mean, like.
Much like the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's Jen Shah, Teresa Giudice knows a thing or two about legal drama. The Real Housewives of New Jersey star is sharing her thoughts on Jen's prison sentencing after she was caught up in her own legal battle with ex-husband Joe Giudice back in 2014. Teresa says this on the latest episode of her Namaste Bitches podcast.
Yeah, listen, it's sad. Like, I wouldn't steal anybody's money. Yeah, I would not do that. Like, I would never do that. Like, that's so bad. I don't know if that's, and that's the thing. Like, oh my God. I mean, I signed papers, but like, I would never steal anybody's money. Like, that's so mean, like, imagine like, and then people think that their money's somewhere and then someone's stealing their money. Like,
well, that's Jen Shah.
Jen was sentenced to 6.5 years behind bars on January 6th after pleading guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud and money laundering charges in connection to a nationwide telemarketing scheme in July of 2022. Teresa and Joe also pled guilty to multiple fraud charges in March 2014 and were sentenced to 15 and 41 months in prison, respectively.
I mean, I did it. I did my jail time. I was really innocent. I just signed papers that Joe told me to sign. And, like, again, I'm going to say it again. I was at a lawyer's office with the lawyer, like when you buy a house.
Signing the docs.
Yes, and that's all I did. That's all I did.
Teresa goes on to discuss how Jen's sentencing will affect her family, specifically her sons Sharif Jr. and Omar, who she shares with her husband, Sharif Shah.
I mean, what do you say? I mean, you're going to try to keep it together as much as you could while you're in there. That's all you could do. I mean, I know my kids know that I didn't do anything. Joe told them. But like when you're stealing people and the kids could read this.
Yeah, because they're older. Both the kids are older.
And be like, Mama, why'd you do this? Like, what do you say to your kids to that? So I can't relate to that because like I would never do something like that. I would never, like, before I do anything, I always think about my kids.
Teresa continues, noting that Jen will be required to serve at least 85% of her years-long sentence, as she was sentenced in federal court and not state. Teresa was released from jail after serving 11 of her 15 months in December of 2015. Season 13 of The Real Housewives of New Jersey premieres February 7th on Bravo.